Lord of the Rings, written by J.R.R. Tolkien in 1955. Book 5, Chapter 5, Ride of the Rohirrim. At that sound, the bent shape of the king sprang suddenly erect. Tall and proud he seemed again, and rising in his stirrups he cried in a loud voice more clear than any there had ever heard a mortal man achieve before. Arise, arise, riders of Theoden! Fell deeds awake, fire and slaughter! Spear shall be shaken, shield be splintered, a sword day, a red day, ere the sun rises! Ride now, ride now, ride to Gondor! It, written by Stephen King in 1986. Chapter 1. Derry was its killing pen. The people of Derry its sheep. Things had gone on. Then, these children. Something new. For the first time in forever, when it had burst up into the house on Nabald Street, meaning to kill them all, vaguely uneasy that it had not been able to do so already. And surely, that unease had been the first new thing. Something had happened which was totally unexpected, utterly unthought of. And there had been pain, great roaring pain, all through the shape it had taken. And for one moment, there had also been fear. Because the only thing it had in common with the stupid old turtle and the cosmology of the macroverse outside the puny egg of this universe was just this. All living things must abide by the laws of the shape they inhabit. For the first time, it realized that perhaps its ability to change its shapes might work against it, as well as for it. The Great Gatsby, written by F. Scott Fitzgerald in 1925. Chapter 8. The chauffeur, he was one of Wolsheim's protégés, heard the shots. Afterward, he could only say that he hadn't thought anything much about them. I drove from the station directly to Gatsby's house, and my rushing anxiously up the front steps was the first thing that alarmed anyone. But they knew then, I firmly believe. With scarcely a word said, the four of us, the chauffeur, butler, gardener, and I, hurried down to the pool. There was a faint, barely perceptible movement of the water, as the fresh flow from one end urged its way towards the drain at the other. With little ripples that were hardly the shadows of waves, the laden mattress moved irregularly down the pool. A small gust of wind that scarcely corrugated the surface was enough to disturb its accidental course with its accidental burden. The touch of a cluster of leaves revolved it slowly, tracing, like the leg of a compass, a thin red circle in the water. It was after we started with Gatsby towards the house that gardener saw Wilson's body a little way off in the grass, and the Holocaust was complete. The Very Hungry Caterpillar, written by Eric Carle in 1969. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny, very hungry caterpillar. He started looking for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomach ache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through one nice leaf, and after that, he felt much better. Now, he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then, he nibbled a hole in his cocoon, pushed his way out, and he became a beautiful butterfly. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling in 1998. For a few seconds, there was complete silence. Then, the hat twitched. A rip near the brim opened wide like a mouth, and the hat began to sing. "Oh, you may not think I'm pretty, but don't judge on what you see. I'll eat myself if you can find a smarter hat than me. You can keep your bowlers black, your top hat sleek and tall, for I'm the Hogwarts sorting hat, and I can cap them all. There's nothing hidden in your head the sorting hat can't see, so try me on and I will tell you where you ought to be. You might belong in Gryffindor, well dwell the brave at heart. Their daring, nerve, and chivalry set Gryffindors apart. You might belong in Hufflepuff, where they are just and loyal. Those patient Hufflepuffs are true and unafraid of toil. Or yet in wise old Ravenclaw, if you've a ready mind, where those of wit and learning will always find their kind. Or perhaps in Slytherin, you'll make your real friends. Those cunning folk use any means to achieve their ends. So put me on, don't be afraid, and don't get in a flap. You're in safe hands, though I have none, for I'm a thinking cap. The whole hall burst into applause as the hat finished its song. It bowed to each of the 4 tables and then became quite still again.